Hi, in this video we will see how to integrate IBM MobileFirst Foundation's security capabilities with IBM API Connect by using the MobileFirst OAuth Provider API template, which allows us to proxy MobileFirst client non-resource requests and responses through data powered to the MobileFirst server that is located behind the DMZ. Also protect API Connect endpoints with the MobileFirst server as the authorization server. To do this, we'll create a directory called mybank, and we'll go into the folder and we'll say apic loopback, which is the command to create an apic application. To do that, you need to install API Connect Toolkit. Let's call this application as mybank security, and you'll have three options. One is empty server, hello world, or a notes application. Once the application is created, navigate to the application folder which is my bank security here, and I say apic edit. This will launch a browser pointing to 127.0.1, and if you don't have a Bluemix account, you can create it, or if you have one, just sign in using the Bluemix credentials. Once we sign in, we should see our application on the browser. You can design the application. These are the various parameters available to design the application. For this video, we'll call the base path as branches and also add a new path called details. Save the settings, and when you click on get/details, the default security now is using API security definitions. Now let's move to MobileFirst Foundation Service on Bluemix. To know how to create the service, you can navigate to the previous video which I have created. Once you open the MobileFirst Foundation service, you can just launch the console, and if it asks for the username and password, you can say username is admin and the password which you have copied from the service previously. Once we log in, navigate to runtime settings. Here we'll create a new confidential client by clicking new, and let's call it as API Connect, the display name, ID as APIC, create a secret key, and the allowed scope we'll call it as authorization.introspect. Add this new key. You can see that it's successfully added under the confidential client. Now we need to download the YAML file which acts as our OAuth provider template here. Once you have downloaded the YAML file, you can import that by navigating to the folder where you have saved the YAML file. This is the OAuth provider template, and we are importing it into our API Connect project. You can see that all the paths are defined. Also the name is MobileFirst OAuth Provider. When you navigate to assemble, you will see that even the paths are defined. Now we'll configure the MobileFirst configuration. The server name will be the name of our MobileFirst Foundation service. and if you are using HTTPS, the port will be 443, 443, and if you are using HTTP, it is 8080. Let's put the runtime as MFP there, no changes. We'll use the API C configuration client which we have created earlier, and also the secret key. We'll save the configuration. You can either create a new API C project or you can use an existing one. As I have already created one, I'll just use it. If you want to just create it, navigate to APIs and create a new API Connect project. So I'll use my existing project. So I'll go navigate to dashboard. And catalogs are generally useful for separating products and APIs for testing. So I'll create a new catalog saying my bank catalog. This I am doing it on my Bluemix login. So once I go to my bank catalog, this is the API endpoint which I'll be using in my MobileFirst mobile application. We need to add a new MobileFirst OAuth security definition. If you remember, we have defaulted our /details to API Connect's definition. But as we are using MobileFirst as an OAuth provider here, we'll create a new definition. And say the flow will be implicit, and the authorization URL is the URL of our catalog. Also, we'll say /mobile MFP provider /OAuth2/authorize. This is the authorization URL which we'll be using here. The scope will be access restricted. Now we'll save the changes. So now we'll navigate to /details again, which we initially created, and change it from API security definitions to our MobileFirst OAuth security definition. Navigating back to the application which we launched initially, we'll add the new API which we have imported through the YAML file and just save the details. You can publish or stage the applications directly from 127.0.1, which we launched using APIC edit, where you will map it to your organization, Bluemix organization. You will point to the catalog which we created, my bank catalog. You can either create a new Bluemix application which will be deployed to APIC project, and once we say publish, you can just stage or publish the products for doing that. This is from the console. If you want to manually do it, this is how we do. We'll go to APIC project which we created, click on drafts. You can manually import the Swagger definition files which will be generated, and it will be sitting under my bank security definitions folder. Just say my bank security.yaml and import that. And also similarly, we'll import the Swagger definition for MobileFirst OAuth Provider.yaml. This is how we manually do. If you don't want to do that, as I showed earlier, you can directly deploy from the console itself. So we'll go to the products tab and create a new product called my bank security. And then under APIs, we'll import both MyBank Security and also MobileFirst OAuth Provider. We'll follow the same step of deploying it to staging where it's successfully deployed. This is the manual way of doing it. So under products we have MyBank Security and it's under staging now. Now I'll navigate to the adapter folders, which I already have, MobileFirst adapter folders. So I have two adapters, one is pin code attempts, other one is resource adapter. I'll navigate to resource adapter and say MFP dev adapter build. These are MFP CLI commands, which if you have installed and set up MFP CLI, you will be able to see. This is MFP dev is from version 8.0 of MobileFirst Foundation. So we'll go to the pom.xml file. And we'll point to the MobileFirst Foundation service which we created on Bluemix. Also, if you see, the port will be 80 there, as I am using HTTP, and we'll say /mfp-admin, and the username and password will be available on the service itself. Runtime by default is MFP. So I've saved the pom.xml file. Now I'll deploy this adapter to MobileFirst Foundation Service. So the deployment was successful. Similarly, I'll do it for the other adapter also, which is pin code attempts. I have successfully built and also deployed these adapters to service. Now we'll go to the Android app folder and register this with our MobileFirst Foundation service which we have created, which is Mobile Foundation -feedback -server. So I have just registered and also pushed the changes. So if you navigate to mfp-client.properties file or wl-client.properties file before version 8.0, we'll now point the host to our API Connect. If you remember, this is our catalog base path, and the context will be the organization name, which is your Bluemix organization name /catalog name /mfp provider. You can find that under source, MyBank Security source. So I'm replacing it with my organization name and the catalog name which I created initially. So now when you go to MyBank Security assemble, we will change it from micro gateway to data power gateway, and this is the URL, which backend URL which we are trying to protect from. Coming back to Android Studio, we need to make changes to mobile security. We'll just point to the API-C path, which will start with the data power gateway /organization name /catalog name. So we'll fix a few changes here. We're good to go. For more documentation, visit this link. Also to download the adapters, you can do this. Thank you very much.